Hello, and welcome to Dad Reads with me, David. Now, I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers by the end of the year. Do you think we can get that many people? So, if you could subscribe, if you haven't already, like the video, and any comments you'd like to make, put in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you and what you think. Oh, and you could also share the video, that would help too. So it's the summer holidays coming up, the school holidays, school's closed. What do you do in the school holidays? Well, you could go to see family, friends. You could go to a theme park. You could go see the sights in the capital city. Today's story is called Katie in London and it's by James Mayhew. Shall we read it and see what Katie gets up to in the capital city of England? Let's read it. Katie in London. London seemed very big to Katie. Big trains, big buildings, and big crowds. She held on to Grandma with one hand and her little brother, Jack, with the other. They all got on a big red bus and set off to see the sights. But when they got off at Trafalgar Square, Grandma was tired. I'll just have a little rest, she yawned. You two stay by that lion, then I'll know where you are. Katie climbed onto the big bronze lion and pulled Jack up after her. As the sun came out, the lion seemed to turn from grey to gold. Do you mind? Said a very deep voice. It was the lion. Who said you could clamber all over me? He asked. We're very sorry, said Katie. Grandma said to stay with you. Then I suppose you must, sighed the lion. Now, what shall we do? We wanted to see the sights, but Grandma fell asleep, said Katie. Can you take us? Oh yes, please do, said Jack. The lion shook his mane. Hold on tight, he roared, bounding out of Trafalgar Square. My goodness, how people stared, but the lion didn't seem to mind. This is much better than lying on that stone all day, he said. You have no idea how cold my tummy gets. Now, where shall we go? You choose, yelled Katie and Jack. The lion took them to St. Paul's Cathedral first. They gazed up at the enormous dome. It makes me feel really small, said Jack. It makes me feel very dizzy, laughed the lion. But off we must go, as there's still so much to see. Next, the lion took Katie and Jack to an old castle. The Tower of London, said the lion. Ghosts of kings and queens haunt the towers. Katie shivered and held Jack's hand. Don't worry, they only come out after midnight, said the lion, but you can see their jewels and crowns. The crown jewels were in a small, special room. It was quite a tight squeeze for the lion. The jewels sparkled like stars in the night sky, but in all sorts of colours, green emeralds, red rubies, and blue sapphires. Afterwards, the lion pretended he was a ghost and chased Katie and Jack. Excuse me, called a man in an old-fashioned costume, but you're scaring my ravens. Who's he? Whispered Katie. He's a yeoman warder, said the lion. He thinks that the towers will fall down if the ravens leave. I think it's time to go. The lion decided to carry them across the River Thames. They trotted onto Tower Bridge. Suddenly, an alarm sounded and lights flashed. A boat was coming and the bridge was opening to let it through. Stop! Yelled Katie. But the lion didn't stop. He jumped. But instead of landing on the other side, they landed on the boat. They chugged along the river, passing great ships and going under dark bridges. Look, that's the Globe Theatre, said the lion. Shakespeare wrote some fine plays that are performed there, although very few of them have lions in them. "What's that big wheel over there?" asked Jack. "It must be the London Eye," said Katy. "Why don't we go on it?" "You don't expect me on that thing, do you?" said the lion as they all jumped off the boat. Before the lion could say another word, Katy bustled him on board the London Eye. Slowly the wheel turned and they rose high above London. The poor lion turned rather pale and began to shake. But soon even he couldn't help enjoying the view. He pointed to Big Ben. "Goodness, it's nearly 11 o'clock. We must hurry." As they came down, Big Ben chimed 11 times. Katy and Jack jumped onto the lion and they raced across a bridge, past the huge clock and the Houses of Parliament. They hopped in and out of queues of traffic, past taxis and red double-decker buses, past parks and grand buildings. They could hear music and drums. "It's the changing of guard," said the lion. "Follow me." Left, right, left, right. The lion marched off behind the guardsmen, in time to the music. Katy and Jack followed, all the way to the gate of Buckingham Palace. "Sorry," said a policeman, "only royal guards are allowed through here." So Katy and Jack jumped upon the lion and he walked on past the palace. They hoped to see a real prince or princess. Instead, they noticed a lot of flags and crests with lions on them. The lion smiled. "I'm very well known by the royal family." "Why is that?" asked Katy. "Because the lion is called the king of the beasts," said the lion proudly. And as they galloped away, perhaps they did catch a glimpse of someone waving from the palace window. By now, the lion's paws were beginning to ache, so they all went to sit in a leafy park. The lion dangled his paws in a cool lake. Jack bought ice creams with his pocket money. "Delicious," said the lion. "I love Tutti Frutti." "How are your paws?" asked Kate. "Rather sore," admitted the lion. "I'm not used to all this walking. Perhaps we can catch a bus back to Trafalgar Square." A policeman told them to catch the number 9 bus from Harrods, the big department store. "I wish I didn't have to go back," said the lion sadly. "Don't you like Trafalgar Square?" asked Katy. "Of course," said the lion, "but I do get such a cold tummy lying on the stone all the time." Jack whispered in Katy's ear, and they both smiled. They went inside Harrods, and came out a few minutes later with a small parcel. Then they jumped onto the bus and travelled back to Trafalgar Square. "This is for you," said Jack, handing a parcel from Harrods to the lion. "We bought it with the last of our pocket money." The lion unwrapped it and laughed. "It's a woolly blanket." "It's to keep your tummy warm," said Katy. "How kind you are," sighed the lion. "Thanks for showing us London," said Jack. "Next time I'll show you even more," said the lion. Then Katy saw Grandma was waking up. The lion hopped onto his stone and kept very still. And as the sun went in, he turned from gold to grey. "Hello, you two," said Grandma. "Shall we set off and see the sights now?" "Oh," said Katy, "I'm much too tired. I need a rest," said Jack. And they both flopped down on a bench and fell asleep. Well, that's the end of the story. Katy in London. Have you been to London? I've been, and I've taken Jaden with me as well. It was really good. We saw we went to Trafalgar Square. We saw Buckingham Palace. We went on the train. I don't think we went on a bus though. We did do a lot of walking, and we saw Houses of Parliament. You must come and see for yourself, if you haven't. Where have you been in England? And what are you going to do in the summer holidays, in the school holidays? We have a lot of people that come from overseas to England to see things. And a lot of them watch these videos too. So it'd be nice if you liked the video, if you subscribed to the channel and commented. Anyway, that's the end of the story. I hope you like the story, and I do hope you get to see London at some point soon. Hope you're having a good time on your holidays. Bye for now.